In the harsh, unforgiving lands of Scandinavia, under the watchful eyes of the old gods, a legend was born. Ragnar Lothbrok, son of a minor chieftain, entered the world amidst a flurry of snow and the howl of winter winds. His early years were spent much like any other Viking child, learning the sagas of his ancestors and the ways of the sword and shield. Even as a mere boy, a fierce glint of ambition burned in his eyes, promising a destiny far greater than the humble confines of his birthright. He practiced with wooden swords, his small frame driven by an unyielding spirit, dreaming of the day he would sail the seas and carve his own name into the annals of history. The whispers of his future prowess began to spread even then, a nascent legend stirring in the frosty air. As Ragnar transitioned from adolescence to youth, his physical prowess blossomed and his skills in battle became renowned throughout his village. He was a formidable warrior, quick with an axe and even quicker with his wits. It was during these formative years that he first encountered Lagertha, a shield maiden of unparalleled beauty and ferocity. Their meeting was fated, a clash of two powerful spirits destined to intertwine. Their love was as fierce as any battle, forging a bond that would weather countless storms. Together, they faced their first trials, defending their lands and people, and in doing so, solidified their reputations as exceptional leaders. Ragnar and Lagertha soon wed, a union blessed by the gods and celebrated by their people. Their family grew, blessed with a son, Bjorn Ironside, who inherited his parents' strength and ambition, and a daughter, Gyda. Ragnar's heart swelled with pride as he watched his children grow, knowing they carried the legacy of his burgeoning reputation. However, the call of the sea and the promise of untold riches beyond their familiar shores stirred in his restless spirit. He yearned to explore, to raid, to bring glory and wealth back to his people, believing that their destiny lay not in isolation, but in conquest. Ignoring the traditional routes to the east, Ragnar, driven by an insatiable curiosity and the counsel of the eccentric boat builder Floki, set his sights on the uncharted west. This bold venture marked his first major war, not against another tribe, but against the unknown. He led his loyal warriors, including his fiercely independent brother Rollo, across treacherous waters, eventually landing on the shores of England. The riches and fertile lands of Wessex and Northumbria beckoned, offering a bounty that would forever change the destiny of his people and inspire generations of Vikings to follow his path of exploration and conquest. The first raids on Lindisfarne and subsequent battles against the Anglo-Saxons were brutal, yet Ragnar's strategic brilliance shone through. He often outsmarted his Christian adversaries, using their piety against them, and demonstrating a cunning that went beyond mere brute force. These early victories solidified his status as a legendary warrior and tactician. However, during one of his campaigns, a rift grew between him and Lagertha. Tragedy struck when their daughter, Gyda, succumbed to a plague. Their shared grief, coupled with Ragnar's wandering eye, eventually led to their separation. A heart-wrenching decision that deeply impacted them both and irrevocably altered their lives. Following his separation from Lagertha, Ragnar found love again with Aslog, a cunning and enigmatic princess who claimed to be the daughter of the Valkyrie Brynhildr. Their union brought forth more sons, Ube, Heatsirk, Sigurd Snake in the Eye, and Ivar the Boneless, each destined to carve their own bloody paths in history. These children, diverse in their strengths and weaknesses, would later become the core of the great heathen army, fulfilling prophecies of their mother. Ragnar's growing family symbolized the increasing power and influence he wielded, his legacy expanding not just through his actions, but through his progeny. Ragnar's ambitions grew alongside his fame, culminating in the daring siege of Paris. This audacious campaign against the formidable Frankish kingdom tested his strategic genius to its limits, requiring innovative tactics and unwavering determination. Though costly, his ultimate victory, achieved through a cunning feigned retreat and a surprise assault, cemented his legendary status and brought unimaginable wealth and glory back to Kattegat. He led his forces deep into enemy territory, displaying his remarkable ability to adapt and overcome even the most daunting obstacles. The victory in Paris became a defining moment in his life, showcasing his brilliance. Despite his triumphs, the weight of leadership and the constant struggle took their toll. Ragnar grew weary, plagued by doubt and a sense of disillusionment. He had seen empires rise and fall, and the glory of battle no longer held the same allure. He returned to England not for conquest, but for a final confrontation with King Ecgbert, a cunning adversary who had long been his intellectual equal. This journey was less about war and more about seeking his own end, a chosen fate that would ignite the vengeance of his sons and ensure his name echoed through eternity. After his capture, Ragnar Lothbrok met his end in a gruesome manner, thrown into a pit of vipers by King El of Northumbria. He faced his death with defiance, his last words a prophecy of his son's vengeance. His demise, though tragic, was not an end, but a new beginning, as his legend transcended mortal bounds. His sons, united by grief and a thirst for retribution, would go on to form the great heathen army, fulfilling their father's prophecy and forever cementing Ragnar Lothbrok's place as one of the most iconic figures in Viking history.